chances are, if you're a woman, you have been taught how to pose to make your body look its best. But there are definitely angles that you feel aren't as flattering as others. Some of these will get you asked, when are you expecting? When you're my age especially. So today, I'm just going to prepare y'all. We're going to talk about something that is very difficult for many people, and it's the fact that all bodies don't look the same when they're doing yoga, and that's okay. You saw when I had my hands lifted up over my head, my body had certain kinds of lines and whatnot. Well, I am what some people would call short-waisted. So once I get into a seated position, all of those organs and things, they gotta slide and move around so that they can stay inside of me. And so they shift, and I do not look the same in a seated position as I do when I am standing tall. I assure you that right now, I'm listening to Adriene, Yoga with Adriene, talk about how important it is to sit up straight and lengthen your spine. My spine is lengthened, y'all. All of that is still sitting there, exactly where it is. And you know what? That's okay, because this is how my body works. I'm saying this because for a long time, I was very self-conscious about how my body presented when I was in a seated position. When I'm standing, I can do all the things. I can point, I can twist, I can put one leg in front of the other, shift the weight, all the things that we all listen to that Tyra gave tips on. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But when you're seated, there's very little you can do to shape yourself. Your shape is just what it is. So if you have it in your mind that you should be looking like the instructor looks, most yoga videos you're going to find out there, many of the instructors that you will see in a lot of places are going to have bills that do not reflect, I will say, many of us who are out here who have a little extra girth around the middle. And that's okay, y'all. Because it's not about you looking like anybody other than you. Because guess what? You can't. You can only look like you. So you might as well just be okay with how you look. It's taken me almost 41 years to figure this out for myself. Because I'll tell you something else, y'all. I don't wish back to the glory days of when I had flat abs and all the other kind of stuff. If you look back at my baby pictures, if you look at my pictures from adolescence, never did I ever have flat toned abs. That was not my ministry, y'all. And it isn't that I ate badly or that I wasn't active. I enjoy walking, and in fact today I was a little peeved because I wanted to have a chance to walk, but one of the reasons y'all didn't see a video from me yesterday is that I gotta pay these bills, and so I had a work assignment that unfortunately sucked up my time that I had set aside to do a video for y'all. And today I was actually planning on taking a walk, and that's probably going to happen during the WEDM challenge, but today I needed yoga, and so I had to put my actual needs ahead of my desire to go ahead and show y'all something different. But this is a little different in the nature of this conversation, because we're talking about wellness. We're not just talking about working out, we're talking about wellness, and that includes our mental states when we're trying to make sure we're showing ourselves kindness, y'all. It's okay. It's okay. Whatever you look like while you're doing this kindness to yourself, it's okay. I'm sitting here looking and saying I am stacked like a set of nesting dolls in here. You know what? There are a lot of people who like nesting dolls. How about I'll be the nesting doll yogi, whatever you want to say. All of us are going to have different needs and different lines and all that kind of thing. Different points or places where we find tension and whatnot. The important thing is when you are in a yoga practice, you are supposed to be paying attention to yourself, your body, where you are mentally, physically, emotionally. That is the only responsibility you have. and not to injure yourself. That's also really big for me. I can think of another story that might help some of you. Those of you who are yogis, and those of you who, yogis being those who are instructors, that's what I mean when I say that, and those of us who practice yoga but who do not lead the instruction. That's how I think of myself. I practice, but I don't lead. I went to a yoga class one time at a university campus, and I was really early in trying to explore and discover yoga as a discipline. And as I mentioned to y'all, these boobs showed up almost overnight in my life. Seriously, one night I went to sleep. The next day, my mama had to go take me and go get a bra with cups. It was rapid onset, and they were very much unwanted at the time. They got in the way of my dodgeball career. They got in the way of my kickball career. They got in the way of my soccer career. But maybe that's a story for another time. What I can tell you though is that when I showed up at this yoga class, I was very excited. The instructor was a very nice person, but there were positions and forms that they were instructing us to do, and they just weren't safe for me. There were things where if I had actually gotten into and held those positions, I probably would have suffocated. My face into my breasts for extended periods of time doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I can't breathe. So I didn't want to make a scene about it. I made an adjustment for myself while I was in the class, but after the class, I went up to the instructor. It was a young guy. Well, actually, I say young. He was about my age, probably, maybe a little bit younger than me. And I said, "Hey, I was just wondering, do you know any instructors who are female who have larger breasts?" Because, I get to the point. Because I'd like to talk to somebody about whether or not I'm making the right kinds of modifications to accommodate my body. And he was like, "No, I really don't know anybody who does yoga who has big boobs." Not the thing to say to somebody. Y'all, seriously. Not the right way to say it. Even if you don't know someone, you can say, "Well, I'm not really sure, but maybe there might be some videos, or come back and I'll ask around, and or give me your email, and if I ask around and find somebody who has some suggestions, I'll send it on to you." That would have been a good way to go. Oh, but I don't want to hold it against them, but that really did kind of send me home with a lot of DVDs. I've got Yoga Booty Ballet. I've got, what's that, MTV Yoga. I've got a whole bunch of DVDs. I just said, I'm not going to classes anymore. Because I didn't feel like the space was welcoming to me. Looking around at the other participants in the classes, none of them had body shapes that looked like mine. And it was a little exhausting not to feel like I belonged in the space. So that was actually the start of my practicing yoga at home. Now, I go to classes at yoga places from time to time now too. You saw on my day one of my very favorite places to go is Yoga Church in Hot Springs. I miss them. I should go see them sometime. But yeah, it's amazing how those kind of words can stick with you. I had thought about that in a long time. So, getting back to this though, the important thing is that you go ahead and focus on what it is that your body needs, and not be so worried about how you look when you're trying to address getting into those nooks and crannies of where you need to work muscles and release tension and whatnot. This particular yoga workout I chose especially because it helps to address tension that has built up in your body during the day. I work in what can be a very high stress kind of occupation, and full of deadlines and really significant things that you end up kind of taking on your back, and because people are counting on you to get things done. So it's really important to know when you gotta push back from the desk and make some time to go ahead and honor your body, honor your needs, and get yourself into a rest place. I know a lot of you out there work in situations that are really high stress, and even if your job isn't high stress, we've all been experiencing an unusual amount of stress over the last year and a piece. So if you don't currently take the time to go ahead and do a practice like yoga or something similar to that, you might consider finding a way to do that kindness for yourself. Now, some people can get it by pumping iron at a gym, and some of us enjoy walking as well. Gyms don't really work well for me, and during the pandemic, it was just a really anxiety-inducing thought for me. I actually held on to my gym membership for almost a solid year, but I did not set foot in there once, and I was like, I can't. When I'm already having to work through anxiety just to get there, to then do the work, I said, I've already expended too much energy. So I'm happy for those who can find that place to dispel the tension in the gyms. For me, it's been a real blessing to be able to do this in my home. All I need is a mat and my body weight. As you saw in a couple of these videos, I also tend to keep a couple of pillows nearby because it helps to raise your hips a little bit so that you can be comfortable, so you can avoid pulling or straining things when you're particularly tight in your hips, and sometimes you can be. I'll tell you something else too, that reminds me. Another thing that's kind of a benefit of doing your yoga practice at home is that sometimes when you're getting into these positions and whatnot, it will move gas through your system. You will burp, you will toot. It is kind of funny when you're in a class. It's a little harder not to be a little embarrassed by that than it is when you're in the privacy of your own home. So that is one thing I do enjoy about being able to be home practicing. Goodness, y'all, there was air moving through my system today. Probably because I was feeling a little extra stress. It was managed, but hey, sometimes when your body is unbalanced by environmental factors, emotional factors, it does what it needs to do to compensate. So, yeah. But that was kind of funny. I did have several little doops during this particular practice. Oh, but I do hope that y'all are enjoying this. I missed the video yesterday. I was debating whether or not I would go ahead and change the numbering system on here. Nah, I'm just going to keep going with the number. This is actually the 5th video, so it'll be a little off from the date of the month, but that doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is that I'm having this chance to spend a little bit of time sharing my stories with y'all and holding myself personally accountable to doing these workouts. I hope that you will make a priority to find some time to practice some aspect of wellness for yourself. We're getting ready to head into summer. People are getting ready to really get back out into the world, and it's going to be exciting to see other humans again. I really haven't been out very much. It's going to be nice to be able to go back to my parks. Now that I'm vaccinated, I feel a lot better about being able to do that. I want to get out in the parks. I want to do my walks. I want to find other things to explore that I can do just to be a little more active and physical. And I feel really good that I can start thinking about doing those things now. So thank y'all for watching. Please feel free to continue listening to the music. And remember, love the body that you are in, period. I'll see you guys soon.